so you can still hear.
All right, welcome to Positivity is the Way to Go. Today, he calls himself the Hollywood Capone, writer, singer, poet, actor, mechanic, and wildlife misfit prophet. Welcome, my guest today, Hollywood Capone. How you doing today, man?
I feel good, man. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, I do actually want to ask you, can you perform on my channel, man, later on, man? Maybe. Or give me some poetry, something, man. Come on.
I might be able to read you some poetry, but I mean, as far as performing, I got to be honest with you. I ducked out of where I was so I could do this interview, and it's not really prepared. I kind of came home and just set myself in the corner so we could have a little chat, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the best interviews when it's improvised and when it's on the fly, and non-scripted.
That's all good, man. I'm glad to be here. Like I said.
And also, I would like to do an advertisement for E3 Contracting. It's a paint company. If y'all interested, email me. By the way, if you want to get your houses painted and everything. So let's get started with the interview. What's something about you that most people familiar with you wouldn't know about you?
Well, years before I got to this place in my life, I mean, I was when I was younger anyway. I had some run-ins with the law and you know those kinds of things, and most people wouldn't really know that because I don't really talk about those kinds of things with people that I meet day to day. But there was a point in time where life for me was a little bit different.
Well, what changed? Like, how did you what was the turning point for you?
I met a girl that I wanted to respect me, and there's no way she would ever respect some guy that was, in and out of cop cars and in jail or anything like that. And so I had to straighten my life out and, fly straight and be a good law abiding citizen, which is, a segue into a long and prosperous life, hopefully. And that's the way it went, beautiful
Well,
girl will do that for you.
you seem like you're doing good, man. You in LA, doing big, maybe you a singer and everything. So it seemed like it worked out for you.
So far, so good. I mean, it's expensive out here, man. There's no question about it. So I work hard. I work a lot, and that's basically how I get it done. I mean, you got to pay the bills, and it's like it's a nonstop fight. You're always out there duking it out, trying to make a buck.
Well, I'm in Chicago, man. I'm in the Midwest. It's about to get winter here soon, and it's about to be cold, so it ain't hot like California,
It won't be getting cold here anytime soon, man.
Yeah. So what's the biggest challenge facing you right now in X years?
Well, I got probably two challenges. I'm working on my second book, and I'm not done with it yet. And that's a challenge because I work so much that a lot of times I get back, I get back into my studio and I want to write. I'm so burnt out. There's nothing there, So that's a challenge, and I need to schedule my life a little bit differently so that I can do that. And then the other side of it is I'm working on this old hot rod. It's like this old rat rod. It's a 1955 Chevy, and I'm like this close to driving it and getting those last few pieces of the puzzle together so that I can. That's a challenge. We're going to overcome that. We're going to get it done, but it's one piece at a time, man.
You want to break some news on my channel about your second book, or to you gonna wait till later?
Well, I'll tell you what. If I was ready to drop it, I would break some news. But there's really not much news to break. I'm about you know 2/3 of the way through it. It's a cool story about some high school kids that saved the world, and there's some interesting characters in it. I'll tell you what, though, if you read the first book, which is The Ashes, it's my first book. A couple of the characters that are in the second book are in the first book, and that'll give you a taste for where it's going.
Well, have you ever thought about like making it into a movie or it does books and stuff, you know?
I thought about it, and if I could sell another million copies, I'd probably get some interest, but I'm not quite there yet.
Okay. What advice would you give someone pursuing a path similar to your own?
Work hard, work harder than me. There's a lot to it. I mean, writing the book, believe it or not, was the easy part. The hard part is marketing it and getting it sold and getting people to have some interest in it and taking a look at it because if it just sits there on a shelf, nobody knows, and that part of it's real difficult. So yeah, and then believe in what you're doing because you have to own it 100%. If you're writing, but you spend all your time in the ocean surfing or doing these other things that are cool, but aren't focusing you on what you're supposed to be doing, then your goals will they won't get realized.
Well said. You know, you the embodiment of you the embody you embody what hard work is and everything.
I wish I could work
So
harder. I wish there was two of me.
well, they you want them to clone you like on Family Matters when they clone Urkel and you gonna be it's gonna be one nerd version, one cool version, right?
That could be it,
You
man.
go,
That might be my answer.
you gonna have a machine in like your house and everything, you know. And when you pattern this personality, you gonna become another personality.
That might be the play.
So, who has been your biggest supporter, mentor, role model over the course of your life?
Oh, it would have to be my wife. I mean, we've been together for 40 years, give or take, and married for 34 of those. It's been a great ride. She's my best friend and she puts up with all my shenanigans. It's not, it's not easy to do the things that I do and still maintain a life. I've been in rock bands. I've written a book. I'm writing another book. I've done some acting. I've been in a couple really bad movies. I've been on a couple game shows. And I do all this stuff on the sly, and still manage to keep a job and bring money into the house. And she's pretty cool with it. I mean, she just knows that that's the kind of stuff that I do, and it's without her support, I don't think I'd be able to do it at all.
Well, that's good. You got to support because I'm single, Hollywood Capone. I don't have anybody at all. I'm looking for somebody, but it's hard out here, you know.
I'll tell you what, you kids today, well, I'm older. You kids today got it tough in the dating world, man, because it's, you know, everybody with social media and TikTok and all this. I mean, there's a lot of girls out there that have some pretty unrealistic expectations.
I know, man. You telling me, man. They don't even want to give their name out no more. I'm like, hey, my name is Dion. I'm like, how you doing today? And they just look at me crazy. I'm like, what? That is weird. It's like you don't want to. How the world do people go on interviews? It's like, hey, my name is Bob, and the manager talk to you, and you don't even want to give your name. They're gonna say you got to get out of here. We not gonna hire you. They're gonna say next.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the girls today they want to see a bank statement before they'll talk to
Well,
you.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what are you
money,
worth?
yeah, yeah. Well, because
And
when I
that's
don't when we not talking about money, they don't want to talk to me. And then I'm like the rebound dude. They want to call me when they ex, when they done with their ex and everything, you know. And
yeah.
then they end up getting back with them and stuff. So I'm the rebound dude.
Well, I mean that's what that works for them while they're young, but what they don't realize is that someday they're going to get old, and when girls get old, it's different than when guys get old, bro. When guys get older, believe it or not, more girls want to know you because you know you got a solid life. You know what I mean? You have a little bit of money in the bank. That's how it works. But when girls get older, nobody wants to know them when they get older, bro. And that's a sad state of where things are right now. A lot of girls think that they're just going to be young and beautiful forever, and it just doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, and they like bad guys. You
Yeah.
know, they think guys like me are creeping weirdos because I'm respectful and they ain't a womanizer. So I'm just like in another league. You know.
But you know what? You got to be true to yourself because you got to have faith and you got to believe because if you're true to yourself, then it all works out. You know what I mean? You just got to keep on keeping on.
Exactly, because I've been trying to get in some extra roles. I was in a commercial with Steve Wilkos from Jerry Springer and everything. He did a food drive. But I've been you could help me out, Hollywood Capone, give me in some roles, maybe, man. Pour some strings. I know you know Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell.
I'll tell you what, man. If you were out here in LA, there are extra roles all over the place, man. I mean, you could probably make a living just being an extra. You get your little something something for the day, and then usually they feed you, and you know what I mean. You do the same thing tomorrow on another show, and the same thing the next day on another show, and you know, pretty soon you're just working all the time as an extra. I mean, I've had
What
friends that have done that for a lot of time, and it's interesting because my wife and I both have some friends. We used to live out here a long time ago, back in the '90s, before we moved back. And every once in a while, I'll be watching a TV show, and I'll see somebody that I know in the TV show, and they're just sitting at a table while the rest of the show is going on. They're just an extra. You know what I mean? But it's pretty funny.
they could give me a sandwich to eat. You know, I eat the sandwich while I didn't eat a sandwich that sit there. You know,
Here you
and they
go,
give me one roll. I'm like, hooray! Okay.
man. there's
So
this
what?
um, there's this great interview with Brad Pitt where he's talking about he was very young and he was just starting out in the business, and he had this role, and it was a non-speaking role, and he was a waiter in a restaurant in the part, and his part was to walk up to the table and like pour water into the glasses of the two stars talking at the table, and he says he wanted to try and get a line in because you need a couple lines in to get your SAG card, right? So he goes up, he does the take, and he goes up and he says, "Can I get you anything else?" to the actors at the table. And the director's like, "God, God, God." He's like, the director. Now he's saying this to Brad Pitt when he's very young. He's like, "If you do that again, you're out of here." And now look, he's the biggest movie star there is.
Yeah, man. What motivates you to get up in the morning and go to work?
I wish I had some loftier explanation, but it's money. You know what I mean? It's I need money. I got to survive. I got to pay the mortgage, and I get up in the morning. I work out on the days I can work out, and I go to work and I grind it out for the day, and I do it again tomorrow because that's how the world goes around.
Exactly. So, what do most people misunderstand about you? Because I'm
Most people,
misunderstood. I'm very misunderstood. People don't understand me at all. You know.
well, in public life, like out there in the world, I'm a really nice guy. I'm always polite. I'll bend over backwards to help somebody. But there are some people that will push and will push and will push and will push, and thinking that it's an unlimited ability to push. And I'll get to a certain point where I'm done taking the pushing, and then it's my turn. And that's what sometimes people don't expect. They're like, well, because at some point when you turn it around, I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? What you're standing up for yourself. How dare you do that? And a lot of people don't get that. You can only push a man so far, and then at some point he's going to be done with you.
One thing I learned is you don't mess with a man money and you don't pick a fight. Because Charles Barkley said that if a man fight 25 and older, they a cow. He said, we don't fight anymore. He said, we talk about stuff, you know.
Yeah.
He said, men's don't supposed to fight anymore, you know. He said they too dang old.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I don't think I would ever fight unless I really had no other choice. But if there's no other choice, there's no other choice.
Exactly. When did you first become passionate about writing?
I've always done it. I did it as a kid. I always wrote poetry and wrote songs for pretty girls and that kind of stuff. And then And then when I was a teenager, I started getting into rock bands and doing that thing, and that opened up a lot for me because I really enjoy doing it. I still enjoy doing it, although I'm a little old for doing that now. But the I love playing music, and I love singing songs, and I like writing songs, and it's just it's a way to vent, without um, you know getting all messed up in the world. You know what I mean? It's a good way to say what's on your mind without singling anybody out, or you just basically write a story about it in a way that is creative, and it's fulfilling. I enjoy that.
Yeah, because sometimes people may think you targeting them and stuff. It's like, well, are they like, what are you talking about me? You know?
That's why
So
you got
yeah,
to do it
I
on the
like that and
slide.
all.
You got a little innuendo in there, but nothing specific.
Exactly. So if you could give advice to your 16-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
I'd say go to college and do your homework. Really, seriously, and stay in college for as long as you can. Get a just a dynamite degree in something that's in demand. You know, some sort of business degree, or some sort of trade that will pay you a good amount of money. A lot of people go to school and they get these philosophy degrees and these liberal arts degrees, and man, I mean, it's cool and all, but there's not a huge profit in it. You know what I mean? If you have a business degree and get into a company and start out making, 80, 90, 100 a year, well, then that's saying something, because you can always go up from there.
Well, I got a bachelor's degree in marketing and I've been struggling to get work, man. I don't know why it's what the jobs at in the marketing field anymore.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, I mean, you're in Chicago too, so there's probably a lot of guys out there. You know what I mean? It's probably a tough market, that's for sure. But you got to keep plugging away and keep trying, man, because it's the answer's out there.
Well, they not gonna work harder than me though. I work real hard,
There
Mr.
you go.
Capone, man. I work real hard.
There
I
you go.
don't get why I be passed up, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of people graduating college, and it's weird too because like when I was younger, not everybody went to college, but now it seems like everybody goes to college. So everybody getting out of school has got a college degree, whereas 20, 30 years ago it wasn't really the case. So I guess the world's changed a lot, and it's tough, man. I don't envy you. It's you gotta do something, that's just like outside the box, but I don't know what that would be. I mean, it would be, if I got teleported back in time and all of a sudden I was in, 2025, but I was, 22 years old, I wouldn't have a clue as to what to do. I'd be lost, bro.
Well, I was going this option like earlier. I used to sing to women when I was in high school and stuff to get their attention. And stuff, you know. I used to
Yeah.
sing to her and everything. Like I wonder is this gonna get their attention? Or I used to make like, cause back then people did not confront nobody. Cause today women are used to coming up to them talking to them. I just be direct and I be right down to the point. I don't sugarcoat none at all, you know. Why
Sure.
phony cake with people?
Well, that's the only way to do it. You got to be true to yourself. You know what I mean? Because not all of them are out there, looking for dollars and stuff. There's some good women out there too, and if you come across a good woman, she's going to be looking for an honest man that's connected to himself. You know what I mean? And not some you know sugar coated wannabe. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that's the trick,
exactly.
is just waiting it out though. You never know when and where.
Yeah. Not some Flavor Flav wannabe that got a clock and everything, and like Flavor Flav, you know.
So,
So, how can people listen to and connect with you
well,
online?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram as Hollywood Capone. Um, I have a YouTube channel as Hollywood Capone. It's not totally active, but once the second book is finished, that's going to be the next focus. So there's some videos up there. Nothing real current, but um, Instagram is the best place to find me. Hollywood Capone, real easy to search. comes up with me, and usually I got something up there. I try and stay current, a few videos a month just to kind of keep the waters fresh. The books come in, some philosophical comment. I got this old hot rod that I'm kind of putting back together, and there's usually a few videos of that up there as well. So there's some stuff up there, and that's usually the best place to find me.
Well, can I come on your channel as a guest, man?
Of course you can. Of course
We
you can.
buddies now, man. You my new buddy, man. You gotta hook me up with some people in Chicago, because I know you know people all over the United States, man. Hook me
You
up with
know,
some active people, give me some extra roles in the Midwest, man.
I grew up on the East Coast, and I moved out to California, and I just fell in love with it out here because the weather out here, dude, is just like in the dead of winter. It's like pretty nice out here, man. It might be raining or something, but you're not going to freeze out here, and I fell in love with that. So it's kind of weird because, I go back home from time to time. So it's almost like I have, it's almost like I have two places to live, you know what I mean? And that's kind of cool. It's not really the case. I mean, my house is here, but I've got a lot of people on the East Coast, and we go back there, and, we connect and we do our thing. So it's nice to know that. And, as far as the Midwest goes, man, I'd love to see Chicago. That's one of my things I want to see in this country. I've seen a lot of stuff, but I've never been to Chicago before. And, I hear Chicago pizza is probably some of the best in the world, and I'd certainly like to try that.
Yeah, and we can hang out and take pictures, man,
Yeah, there you go.
Let me know. Well, we got each other sales, man. We can talk about that offline. So we gonna give you some poetry from Hollywood Capone to take us out.
Well, I'll tell you what. Um, Let me do this because I got a couple pieces upstairs. Oh, you know what? I don't have. Let me see. What should I? I don't know if I can. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna minimize you real quick, but I'm gonna come right back. All right.
Okay, all right, I got you.
All right, hold on. I know it's in here. Let's see what I got in here. Let's see here.
So that's like your office?
Yeah, this is my living room, and I just kind of.
Oh, okay. I thought that looked like your office, man. But you got a cave, man. You got like a cave thing, like like other people. Where
Yeah.
you have like bobbleheads and stuff.
What's behind me is this little TV on wheels, right? And
Oh,
the 'cause it's California, so a lot of times we roll the TV outside and we'll watch movies outside.
man, that's cool.
It is pretty
Man.
cool, man. It is pretty cool.
Man, I want to get one of those.
You know what? Because it never really rains here, and that's kind of like the trip because it's just such a like a cool way of living because you can just hang outside or watch a movie outside or come inside. Like it's a little hot the last couple of days. It was like 95. It's too hot to do that outside. But when it's like in the 80s, it's perfect because there's no humidity out here. So 80 degrees out here feels like 75 degrees back east. I mean, it's a nice chill temperature.
That's cool. So you got the poetry up, or you
Yeah,
got it?
yeah. I'll read you something. All right.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Fish tank in the basement, and all the fish are dead. They're dried out on the bottom on stones colored red. Strip car in the alley, big block Chevrolet. The vultures feed upon it, and the cops chase them away. Bimbo on the corner, and her hair is colored brown, shows herself to strangers while she's crawling on the ground. The cop that walks the night beat, his wife she fools around. I think he's going postal on the other side of town. Never is there a day that goes by. Something takes me by surprise. Never a day that goes by. Never a day that goes by.
Well said, man. Bravo, man. Great job. So it
Thanks,
was
man.
It was nice having you on today, man, and we'll interview down the road. Are you a Dodgers fan? You been keeping up with the LA teams?
I was here last year when the Dodgers won the World Series, and it was pandemonium out here. People were going crazy. It was just such a huge deal. Like everybody out here is a Dodgers fan. So, like, hey, I'm a Yankees fan, I guess, because I'm an East
Oh
Coast boy.
yeah,
But
you better not. Yeah, you
but
like Judge. You want to
but
go to the Judge Chamber in New York, the Bronx.
yeah, but I got a transplant. You know what I mean? So I got to be a Dodgers fan now. It's just how it is.
Y'all got the best player in baseball, Otani, because he pitched and he hit. And as long as you got Otani, you're gonna be up there with one of the best teams, even if your rotation in bullpen is injured.
Yep. Well, we'll see
I
how this
know.
year works out.
I know a Padres fan. I know. He live in Nebraska, but he a Padres fan though. So
Yeah.
I got Dodgers and the Padres fan. Wow, the NLS.
Well, I tell you, one of my friends out here is a young guy I met when I first moved back out here. His name is Will, and this guy is a Dodgers fan, bro. He is like all in, and it was just fun to see how excited he got when the Dodgers were winning last year because it was just something that he's been waiting for his whole life, and it was just great to see how that affected him, and he's a good kid, and it was just nice to see that, and he was absolutely so happy. He's watching games at work like on the sly. He's like, it was just pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Well said, man. It was a pleasure having you on, man, and you have a great day.
You too, man. Thanks for having me on, man. We'll do it again this time, next time.